And this is why you have water spots. What's going on, guys? So it is a Sunday and I like coming in on Sundays because, well, it's a little quiet. Sometimes we come in to do some really quick improvements. Maybe this isn't the quickest improvement, but today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't tell you about, and it is water spots. What water spots really is when you have minerals in the water, and we basically can measure that with PPM, parts per million. When you look at a car and it has a soft paint or a clear coat, and the water basically dries, and as it dries and it evaporates, it leaves those minerals and it creates what we call water spots. And here's the thing, it's very, very difficult to actually get rid of because like you can't just wipe it down, and it just sucks because it'll also etch into PPF, it'll etch into vinyl, it'll etch into really everything. I mean, you could still remove it, but it's a lot easier to just prevent it. So I think a lot of shop owners have this kind of solution. It isn't as common in like DIY garages, but I feel like if you do really enjoy washing cars, this is something that you should get. And you don't have to get like the biggest, baddest like thing, right, to prevent this. So we're gonna be talking about the build. So we have our friends at Active Products. They're awesome. We actually used to sell a lot of Active 2.0s, but they came out with a 3.0. It actually has 3.0 GPM, which is gallons per minute. And then they also came out with an accessory bundle, premium accessory bundle with a reel. And look, like we're in the business of wrapping, we're in the business of DIY and helping you do that as well. So if we don't have to spend a lot of time figuring out what to buy from all of these different places, I love solutions like that. So now that we have all this stuff, let's get building. Empty box. Goes into this. Oh, that is some heavy pressure washer. Get through it, G. And we have water. So you can see that there's water flowing in all the way through. From here, there's no leaking right here. So let me just tell you about the system. This is all Active product right here. So basically this is a 3.0. This is their accessory, which is a mount, a universal mount. But you got this reel, and then there's like a little pin system, and then it kind of comes in. You saw that? So then it locks in place. Just like that, you can adjust that. And then you have a little area for here. And then this thing is heavy though. This is 62 pounds or something like 60 pounds. This right here is really the hero of this setup. These are resin-based systems. This is called Deionized. So basically what happens is water in general, when you have tap water, has actually a lot more minerals than you think. You can still drink it, but when you have tap water, it typically has a lot of different minerals that when it goes through, you know, the sewer system and all the, basically the city system, and when it lands to your faucet, it typically holds a decent amount of, we call it PPM, parts per million. So I actually have this right here. This is a water tester basically, and it will tell me exactly how much of PPM there is. The other thing too is that this runs on a 20 amp circuit. So if you have like a 50 amp, or that's like typical like home use, this will not work. It needs more power than that. And it needs to be a dedicated. So we have a 20 amp that goes all the way to our electrical panel that is specifically just for this pressure washer that works right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I don't have the pressure washer turned on, but I just wanted to show you, this is just straight up water, okay? And this is why you have water spots. Okay, so this is reading a 65. You saw that right there? A 66. That's really not that bad. And here's the thing. I've seen it in my city, in Chattanooga. It changes from time to time. I've seen it as high as 200 plus, and then I've seen it as high as, like as low as like 50. That's really not that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and do some more, just real quick, just because I just ran this line. This is brand new. Let's go ahead and run some more, and let's go ahead and do it again. Yeah, it's increasing. It's at 72 ppm. You see parts per million. So what that means is there's a lot more minerals in that space, okay? When you have more minerals in it and it dries, so water spot dries, it leaves the mineral content, right? And that's why when you see it, it looks like there was like a puddle of water right there, like a small puddle. Basically, I'm gonna turn on the DI mode, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and kind of flush this out a little bit. Don't need that much water, but anyway. Let's see if I flush it all out. 13. That should actually be 0, so I haven't flushed out everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that again, right? Because think about it, this is a really long line, right? So it's gotta flush all that out. And now, that's good water. No, you could have drank the other one too. But basically, 1. So, I mean, I could flush it out again, but it usually comes out to 0. So when you have 0 ppm in the water, basically, technically, you don't even have to dry. We still dry it, okay? So we still do that. But you don't actually have to dry, and we have done it, especially when you're going straight into PPF. You don't have to, because we know that our water is absolutely clean and it's not gonna be a risk. And by the way, we got this. This is not like a sponsor video or anything like that. We just happened to find them like 6-7 years ago, and we've been using them since. We got this from RV Mods, which you can get. I'll put the link below. Support these guys, small businesses as well, like us. But this is like, if you're a DIY, you don't need something this big. You can get the smaller one. I think they have a 50 version. They might even have a 25 version, right? But basically, I love it because it has a bypass. Because when I need all the 3.0, I mean, like all the output, you don't need to be using this all the time. You really want to use this at the final rinse, because that's what matters the most, right? So this is kind of like the setup. So we go from water, we have it all through the building. It goes inside here. Usually I'll turn it on a bypass mode, and then it goes into this pressure washer, and then goes through this line, and then, I mean, obviously the pressure washer, and then to the line. We got a beautiful Model Y right here to wash, and I have never turned this on. This is the first time we're ever turning this on. No, I'm just kidding, that's normal. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and unlock, right? I'm gonna put my nozzle right here, okay?
Is that normal?
No. Did I run out of power? Let me see if I broke the breaker. Off, on. Okay, I might have tripped it. Okay, I probably have to, oh, there you go, you heard that? Watch, it's gonna. Yep, I definitely tripped it. I'm on 20 amps. This right here is on 20 amp. All right, it could also be, the orifice. It's not working. Okay. All right, so I think I got the issue down. All right, so it was a little, it would not work for this setup right here. You see that? It restricts the power a little bit too much, and then it ends up tripping. So I do need to get some new nozzles. So there you go. That's nice. And we're gonna go ahead and wash this Model Y. First off, there's some good oomph to it. I mean, this is a good pressure washer gun too. I mean, honestly, I've been using MTM for most of my time. in the detailing, but I mean this feels good. It's a good weight to it. But there's a lot of water coming out of here. So we'll go ahead. All right, so now that these nozzles are good, let's go ahead and test this pressure washer. I mean, not pressure washer, foam cannon. One thing I forgot why that foam was poo-poo is I forgot to change out the orifice right here. So this is the 1.25 that it came in. This is the 1.65 that it's said to use for aftermarket, which is interesting because it's not really aftermarket, but it is what it is. Go to insert that in, grab a flathead, and then put that in there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put this back in, which is where it connects with a quick disconnect right here. Let's see, this should be it. Still on? Oh yeah, that's better. So couple things, it's a little runny. Part of it is this is like a week old. I probably should have put, usually you want to put warm water and then your favorite foam shampoo. But what this does, if you're wondering why do I need pressure washer to avoid water spots, you really don't. You could actually get that DI kit that I told you about. You could use a water hose and that should be fine. But when you have a pressure washer, you can get into crevices a lot better. It is faster. You're actually using less water because you're using a high speed or a high pressure to basically get into crevices, and then you could also do this stuff. So this is kind of cool. I'm gonna go ahead and max it out. That's less. That's like, oh, that's crazy. That was a little too much. But yeah, you can get a lot out in there. So let's go ahead and get that. I'm not doing a crazy detail wash. We're not doing anything to this car. I mean, we have some content to do, but just gonna go give it a nice foam wash. Oh, one tip. You see this? Do not shoot the car like this. It's not all the way in. Always point down and then spray down before you put it on the car. You could actually break something. And also these, I need to get another one that works with this one because my normal one is rubber guarded. Like this one, it's like rubber right here. So I accidentally did that, they're not supposed to. We can at least like, I don't know, hopefully we can buff it out instead of having it like on this plastic thing. So we're gonna go ahead and rinse it out. Like I said, I'm just doing a really quick rinse. I'm not really like doing any. Yeah, this thing has a lot of oomph to it for sure. So off the bat, I don't know if we said this, but we have used a lot of pressure washer, but kind of an active 2.0 has been a really go-to for us. There's a lot of brands out there, but they're pretty reliable. They work really well. So we're upgrading from that to this 3.0, and we really like it so far. The only thing that you have to watch out for is, it could be a power issue. You have to have, it draws about 18 amps, so you need to have a dedicated 20 amp. So that could be kind of a deal breaker for some people because most houses are going to be on a 200 amp. So you might be limited. Also depends if you have an older house, you might even have less available to you. So you might have to jig some things around. but it draws a good amount of power. That's how it's able to put so much output from this. But it works really well. I think you just need to find kind of a mixture of what works. I just kind of followed by the books of what Active kind of suggested, using the 1.65 and then using the whole setup. We didn't really use anything outside of Active on this one. And again, like we love their products. It works really well. We've worked with them before, so we can vouch for them as well. So, I mean, look at this. Look at that water output right there. I just feel like I can feel the water output. I can actually feel it in my arms. Like there's a little bit more kickback than the 2.0. I mean, it makes sense, a lot more power, a lot more water coming out, which means you can rinse your car a lot faster. The final, you should use clean water. So what you do is you turn off the bypass. You see that? 0. We are on clean water. So this is the final part that you do rinse off. Very important part. And you want to do top down, all right? And you know where I see most of the water spots is the roof. So I try to do a little bit more and make sure that, because it's like really hard to dry that area and people skip that. And all those water spots right there, it ends up just kind of sinking in and then the minerals get stayed and then it evaporates and then that's where all the water spots. And then you have to polish the glass or you have to, you know, clean it a certain way. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure we really get that. All right guys, so now we are done. The hose is really nice and flexible, and then you also have a free hose like this where it's not restricted and then it starts to kind of do that. So this is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and just reel this in. And then turn that off. We really think this is a great solution, honestly, for shops, but also for DIYers, because when you start getting into the pressure washer system, and if you like washing cars, this is really the way to go. This is what professionals use. They always use a pressure washer, they use foam cannon. It just makes life a lot easier. But if you're really just trying to get rid of water spots, this is really what you need. You don't need a big one like this. You can get a smaller one. RV Mods, I will put the link. I forget their hyphen and all that stuff. And then I always just turn off the bypass. And then we haven't done this yet, but you definitely should turn this off. And then you should also kind of clean out the line. All right, actually, after you turn off the water. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then just kind of clean out the water line. I mean, we use it daily, but you also want to depressurize the lines. And we're good to go, and that's it. But going back to the question at hand, I just think this is a really easy way to kind of get started. I can definitely say this has definitely a lot more water output. It works really well. And yeah, we're excited to wash a lot of cars for this. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. We're gonna go ahead and finish that car and see you later.